welcome back. So now I'm assuming that you've been through the exercises that we did previously where I introduced the finger style of going P-I-M-A and then going P-I-M-A-M-I. So by now what you should be able to do is play at a speed of 60 and be able to keep this going with the right hand. So you should be able to play this pretty much without having to think about it. So the more automated this hand is, the easier it's going to be to concentrate on the left hand. Now with the left hand, I'm going to ask you to play in first position. First position means that this first finger is lined up with fret number 1. Now when you press down on the frets, what you want to try and do is curl your finger round so that you're pressing down on the fingertip, right? Rather than on the side of the finger. And the reason you want to get in the habit of doing that is because you need to press on all of these frets without interfering with the other strings. So right from the beginning, try and get in the habit of doing this. And it's also a good thing to make sure that you keep the fingernails on this left hand short so that they don't interfere and kind of push your hand in one direction. Now when you press on the frets, you also want to try and play right next to the fret, not on top of it, not on the other side of it, but right behind it. So what's happening is you're pressing down, as I'm pressing down on this first fret right here, what it's doing is it's effectively shortening the string, so it's now going to vibrate the string between that fret and over here. So that makes the note go higher. So with each fret that you press down, the string's getting shorter, right? It's vibrating between that fret now and over here. So the first exercise we're going to do involves some chords, and you'll be using these 3 fingers. Here's a diagram of the chords. Now there's a G chord, a G7, and an E minor. Don't worry about the names right now. This is on page 24 of the book. If you have a book, then it's nice to have that in front of you. But right now we're focusing on example 1. So here, this is fret number 3, 1, 2, 3. So right there, you'll take finger number 3 and you press down right there. Now if you can play that arpeggio that we played before, you played it without the frets, it sounds like this. So now what we're going to do is put that finger down and it's going to sound like this. Okay, so that's the first chord. The next chord is what's called a G7 chord. So this is the example that we're going to be playing. So G7, you put the first finger right there on the first fret. So you're going to be going, and that's going to be followed by an E minor chord. E minor chord, if you look at the strings, it's going to be string 1, 2, 3, 4. So on string 4, you want to put the second finger. So that's on the 4th string. So it's going to sound like that. So all together, we'll be hopping between the G, G7, and E minor. So the exercise goes from G, G7, E minor, then back to G7, and then back to G. So it goes like this. That's the G, goes to G7, reach over to the E minor, back to the G7, and then finish off on the G. The thing to watch for here is get each one of these fingers to be able to work independently so that they're not having to be supported by other fingers. So here, we're going from the G, then you have this other finger ready, so when you play that one, you're ready to play that note. Now while you're playing this other note, you need to get this other finger ready so that you can put it down like that. And then this finger ready to play the G7 again. And then back to the G. Now these are the chords that I just played, and you notice there's a little symbol here. This is a repeat sign. It's like 2 lines with 2 dots after it. So that's a forward repeat and that's a backward repeat. So what it means is that you play this and then you repeat this. Now you can repeat this as many times as you want as an exercise. You want to repeat it because that's how you're going to get good at it. Now you also want to play this with a metronome. I'm not going to go through with a metronome. I'm going to leave that up to you. Go as slow as you want, and in fact it's better in the beginning just to get used to it. Don't even think about the metronome. Just try to play through, and remember, what you want to be able to do is to be able to switch between the chords without having any pause in between. That's the trick. Now when you get to this one, this is kind of a tricky one because you have to put that finger down right there to play on that 4th string. And then back to this one. Back to the 1st finger. So these are all simple 4-string chords, and each chord only requires 1 finger on the left hand. So spend some time with that and really get that down, and then we can move on to introducing another finger to play some other chords. We'll just progress until eventually you'll be able to play with all 4 fingers down on the fretboard. But just take it one step at a time. The important thing right now is to get used to changing the fingers and to get the finger independence and to build strength in your fingers so that you can move forward. Have fun with that, and remember, stay tuned, and I look forward to seeing you soon.